So now that we have taken a look at our printed document templates for lien waivers, let's go back into the system to our purchasing module, and under the setup tab, we'll take a look at setting up the compliance definition for our lien waivers. So when we get in here, then we want to select the compliance category of lien waiver. And when I do that, you'll notice my validation rules changes to validate against document received. And this makes perfect sense because if I haven't received the lien waiver, that vendor's out of compliance. And in that case, I would like the system to either give me an error or a warning when I go to pay that vendor. So you can generate a lien waiver based off of either AP bill or AP payment. And it wouldn't be uncommon for companies to want to generate a conditional lien waiver based off of AP bill and then an unconditional lien waiver based off of AP payment. And if that would be the case for you, you would set up a compliance definition for each one of these. So let's say you don't want to bother with that and you just want to do based off AP payment, that's totally fine. You put in your ID and your name, usually keeping them consistent. You could do something very simple like LW. You can put it in a description if you want, and you want your status to be active. Let's say you only want lien waivers to generate for $1,000 or more. So you would put that in your minimum amount or base it off a minimum primary document amount. Obviously, you can read, but you can also allow lien waivers with negative amounts. So in my generation rules here, then I do want records to generate. So I'm going to select automatic by type. And for the compliance category of lien waiver, it's based off of your transaction definitions. And the first one that would spring to mind is your subcontracts. So any transaction definition that you have set up in the system, you can generate lien waivers based off that definition. So that would be totally up to you how you want those lien waivers to generate. Maybe you want them for all your purchase orders. Maybe you have a definition called vendor invoice. Whatever it is that makes sense for your company, you would put it in here. So in your validation rules, it's against document received. That cannot be changed. And then in your notifications, you have the choice to either have it give you an error or a warning within AP payments. There's also the option to ignore, which I wouldn't recommend when you're setting up for a lien waiver. So once you have your definition in, then you would save it. And when the definition is set up, we go to our compliance types. Once again, you're given it an ID and a name. Try to keep them consistent, or whatever you feel like. It's up to you. Put it in a description if you like and you want it to be active. You can always inactivate if you want to stop generating records right here in your compliance type. You link it to your compliance definition. So in this case, I'm going to link it to my lien waiver AP payments. And then for my record ID numbering sequence, this is totally up to you how detailed you would like to get with this. So this is just basically a tally of numbers so that you don't have to put in a number every time a record is generated. And you might just want to do something simple like lien waivers. Or if you have multiple types, you could do a separate numbering sequence for each. That's totally up to yourself. And if I view my lien waivers one, this is what it looks like. It's just lien waivers, my fixed prefix is LW. And this one has a numeric sequence length of 8. You could do anything from 6 to 8. So that's your numbering sequence. And then here for your templates is where you tell the system which document template you want to use for this record to be either printed or emailed out. So when you set up your document templates and you say that they're part of the vendor compliance section, your drop down here is going to give you all those options that you've created. So this is for my lien waiver AP payments, and this section would be for my partial. So I'm going to say this is my lien waiver unconditional partial. And then in my final template section here, I'll put my unconditional final. So I hope all of that makes sense. So you first set up your document templates. You set up then your compliance definition and then your compliance type. And because you've got your document templates in the system, you'll be able to select them from here. If you wanted to set these up and then come back and do the document templates at another time, obviously the type would still be here and you would just select once they're in the system and have that selected. So you would save that then, so you have everything set up for your lien waivers. And in our next video, we will go through what the records themselves actually look like. And then to close out this series, we're going to take a look at the miscellaneous category. So stay tuned for all of that.